Yeah. What up, fam? How you doing tonight, man?
There it is. It worked. There it is. How you doing, brother?
Man, extremely excited for this opportunity to get a chance to talk to you. Sorry about those little technical difficulties. You know, Instagram can be fun, but to get started, can you tell the fans and listeners who you are and where you from?
Yeah, Colby Donis, man, in California.
Yeah.
California. Yeah.
Now, I understand you originate from New York and you moved to Orlando. So how did those two different cultures come together to form Kobe Adonis that we know today?
Yeah, man. Wait. It kind of broke up. Can you say that again? It kind of broke up a little bit.
My bad. I was saying I know that you're originally from Queens and you moved
Yeah.
to Orlando. So how did those two cultures come together to form the sound and the style that you have today?
Yeah, man. Just always been around all kinds of music. Growing up in a Latin household, so just had different energies all around me, and obviously New York has a style.
Yeah.
Orlando has a style of music they play, so it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah. Now I understand your parents were also in the music industry. Can you tell us a little bit about what they did and how did they motivate you to get started so young?
Yeah, my family's always been in they weren't really in the industry. They were just into music, you know what I mean? So, just always loved music, always been involved with music. So, yeah, man, just been inspired by them my whole life. My mom is an incredible voice. She's a great singer. So,
Yeah.
always had that around me. And yeah, man, just, I love it. I've always loved music, and it's always been something that, you know, has been a part of my life pretty
Yeah.
much.
And you're known for your singing ability, so you must get it from your mama. I understand you got signed by Motown at a very young age, I think 10 years old. How did you get the opportunity in the first place to try and get with Motown? And what were some of the takeaways or free game you got early on in your career from that?
Yeah, man. I mean, I started my journey at 9, man. I got signed to Motown when I was 9. I know it's crazy when I say it out loud.
Yeah,
And yeah, man. And just been so many different influences in my life. And I mean, signed in Motown. Then eventually I linked up with Akon when I was 15, and
yeah,
just been working with him ever since, man. And just we had great chemistry, and then I took a little break and just kind of did production. I had my own production company and everything, so.
yeah.
Did a lot of TV film stuff, and for a little hot minute there, and then yeah, man, and then just me and Akon recently connected, and
Yeah.
reconnected, and we're like, yo,
Yeah.
let's make some more songs. So yeah.
Now you guys came back like you never left, and that's what I love about you guys' chemistry. Can you go back to when you first met Akon in the first place? Like you said, you guys were both young, you were both on the rise. What was the vibe like at the first time you guys met, and what made it click the way it did to where you guys became these great friends and making all these hits over these years?
Um, just in the studio environment, we just have an incredible chemistry. So I think that's really the whole pie, man. Hold on, people are texting me saying it's not showing that it's live on my page. Oh, that's okay. Oh, sorry, I was getting text saying it's not for
There
some
you
reason.
go.
It's not showing that I'm live. It's only showing on yours. Um,
Well, great
uh,
thing is we're just getting this interview now for the write up on the hype, and I'll be posting this after we're done. So anybody that missed it live, they can definitely catch the replay for us.
dope. Yeah, man, and so yeah, it's been a cool journey, man, and just every time we're in the studio, it's amazing. So
Yeah.
the chemistry's just there, and I think that's the best language that me and him talk with each other is just the music. It just really resonates.
Yeah. Now you've had two major moments. You've had a lot of major moments, but we all know the major moments: Just Dance and Beautiful. Besides those two moments for you, Colby, what are two standout moments for your personal career? Like when you look back at all the things you've done, all the travels you've had, what are two of those ones that stand out to you?
Uh, my song "What You Got," obviously, I love that song. Always be a song I love. Even when I fast forward to now, and I'm like, I still love it as much as I love it more than when I actually made it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the crew, and so, and then obviously, for personal life in the sense of just a lot of music I've made for different massive companies. I when I started producing and I got into doing stuff for TV and film and stuff, I kind of made a list of all the companies I wanted to work with.
Okay.
and
All right.
it worked with all of them in the first year, which was really cool for me to do, and that kind
Yeah.
of gave me some validation to myself. And yeah, man, just been having fun ever since. It's been a hell of a journey.
Now you've been blessed to be, like you said, in front of the camera. You've been behind the scenes. What do you like more? Do you like being the star in the video, singing your heart out, making all these hits? Do you prefer behind the scenes, producing the hits, and making these great classics that we all love today?
It changes
Okay.
sometimes. Some days I
Yeah.
like being in the studio in my own space, and then some days I'm like, oh man, I want to be on stage and just be.
Yeah.
And I love the environment of live shows. Just the energy that comes around it and that comes with it. It's always fun. The environment's so much fun. So yeah, I guess it's half and half, honestly. Some
Yeah.
days I don't want to even be around anybody or anything, and I'm like, bro, I just fucking keep me away from everything and everyone.
Yeah.
And then some days I'm like, yo, I can't wait to be at this event. I can't wait to do this
Yeah.
and this and that. So I guess it's just based off my mood.
Yeah. Now, we mentioned you were 10 years old when you first got signed by Motown. You meet Akon at 15. What was the moment you realized this was really a possibility for you? Everybody wants to be in the music industry. Everybody thinks they're going to be that major star touring the world. What was the moment that stood out to you and let you know, yo, this is really a possibility, and I'm about to go ahead and make it, to the top?
Uh, I guess seeing the first few songs that I released, how successful they were.
Yeah.
Um, I never really cared much for fame and success and all that stuff. And I just love to be an artist and just make music. And then like whatever comes with that comes with that. Uh, and that I guess that's my motivation, is just to make great music. And I've never really had like any expectations in any sense. So if like
Yeah.
whatever happens, happens. I've kind of always lived like that in my life, like just kind of going in that direction. And if something's meant to be, it'll happen. And if something's like not, then it doesn't. So I
Yeah.
don't, I think expectation is the thief of happiness, man.
Yeah.
So I just kind of stay grounded, and just whatever happens, I just go with it. And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And
Do
it's
you,
been fun since I've been kind of living in that way.
Do you think because you're not as pressed to be in front of the camera, that's why maybe you didn't go the Lady Gaga and Akon low? Because I remember when you were first coming up, it wasn't like Lady Gaga and you were you were the feature, I think, on that song. So like it was a big deal that you were a part of that record, and you can tell by your atmosphere right now, you're very humble about it. How is that one of the reasons you think that it might not have put your name on the billboards as much? And do you care as much? Like, you've got a great career yourself, you've had all these hits anyways. Do you even care if it's not the same level?
Uh, it's an interesting question. Yeah, I've always, let me say, give me a second to process the question. I'm trying to think of the proper way to answer it.
Okay, sorry.
No. I'm trying. It's a good question. I like it. Yeah, man. There was a big part of me that always loved being in the studio. More than anything, I love being in the studio. I'm super introvert. I think that's my thing.
Okay.
I'm very introverted. I'm
Yeah.
very, very introverted. Maybe that's not a great thing. Maybe that is. Who knows? But so, like a huge part of me loves to just, be in my zone, and, and I'm very protectful of my energy and my aura and everything around me and people around me and anyone I let around me. So, I soak that in very much so, and it affects me as a human and a creative. And so, yeah, I think it's super overwhelming when you're on a higher level and you deal with these higher level situations, and
Yeah.
things just kind of come at you at so many paces and so many different directions. And I
Yeah.
don't think if you have to have a certain mind state to be able to operate in that field,
Yeah.
and if you're not in that mindset to operate in that kind of field, it could be something where you're like, yo, let me just step back and just, reassess everything. And I think that's a big part of what I did, is I had to reassess it. There was, and there's so much more to the story that I'll share later on in the future. We're talking, putting it like a documentary together.
Okay.
What really went down that, I can't really share yet, but, pretty much like, yeah, man, it was like fast forwarding to now, I'm like in a more better place in my mind mentally, in a place to where I just want to get back to just sharing music again, and, just putting music out there and no expectations. Whatever happens, happens. And, but just having fun and not putting a lot of pressure on it, and just being that way. Cause I feel like when you start putting pressure on things, and that's when, things start getting too heavy.
Yeah. I appreciate,
Unnecessarily.
I appreciate that answer, man, because there's so many people that want to be in this music industry and they think this is going to be the end of all be dreams, but they might be an introvert like yourself. So you're telling them it's still possible to be successful because the introvert, outrovert doesn't matter about your talent level. As long as you're a dope artist and you got the work ethic. Do you think people really understand the amount of work ethic that goes into you becoming Colby O'Donis? You know what I mean? Like you at 10 years old to Akon, to all the success you've had, do they understand the amount of hours you put into it and the sleepless nights you had to go through?
Well, I think you kind of have to be a little bit crazy,
Yeah.
and not in a bad way, like in a delusional way, and like just like no matter what you go through, because there's always highs and there's always lows. It just it's
Yeah.
constantly like it never, you know what I mean? Like it's always good. And if you're like a kind of person that when it's low you dip or you bow out, or like it's just you're not gonna survive. And I think that's where the love of the art kind of comes into play. The love of just actually loving the art.
Yeah.
Because like outside of the art, there's so much, you know, there's so many things, so many elements, so much BS that could get in the way and really kind of taint
Yep.
the process of wanting to be creative and wanting to do art. Because it's like you come into this world with this gift or this talent and you're like, I love
Yep.
this, I love doing this, and then you kind of have to deal with all these different kind of energies that come along with that once you get into
Yeah.
like a stage, you know what I mean, of in that field in a sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think it requires just the love for the art more than anything, and just and saying, look, I'm gonna go through this. I've been through that. I've seen this. I've seen that. But I still love making music, and you can't let it get tainted by. It's almost like you have to put a force field around the creative art
Yep.
to stay in it, to be
Yeah.
to like consistently, like you have to have that force field around it and protect it. Otherwise, it will get tainted, destroyed, and and then who knows what happens to you after that. So I think it's super important to protect the art, and then and then you can stay working hard, I guess, as
Yeah.
you call it, or staying active because you're just in love with the art of it, and then just understand that there's other elements that are always going to come into play that are going to test your, I guess you could say, your faith,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to test
That,
to see how you really want some shit. Like, oh, you really
yeah.
want this, or do you not? And if you can,
Yeah.
like, if certain business things or things don't work out and you just tap out, then you know, it's cool. It's fine. It's
Now,
life.
now you mentioned you're a Latin music artist. You know what I mean? Now today that stands for something. Like I know when you were coming up, there wasn't as many avenues and outlets as there are. How proud are you to see how far Latin music has come? And does it motivate you even more to come back and show them who, no offense, pop your collar a little bit, who's the originator of some of these, sounds and grooves we're hearing?
It's awesome to see, man. I think the way I look at all humans are we're just souls in these vessels, and
Yeah.
color,
Facts.
race, like that doesn't mean anything. It's like we're all like accepted of like each other. We should be, and you know what I mean. I feel like, and this to see Latin music like really blowing up the way it is, it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like the world is evolving. You know what I mean? It's like it's the world is finally evolving to where it's like all these things are people are waking up.
Yeah.
And we're just souls in these bodies and sifting through this rock on this earth. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And just
Yeah.
going through the motions and just living life and discovering new things daily, and just working with each other to make the world a better place, I
Better
guess.
place. Yeah. Now, you've had a long career, as you said, and you're back now. Was there ever a moment you thought about really just giving up and quitting this? And what brought you back, and kept you fighting and wanting to keep making music when it got hard?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely moments where I think in any career or anybody in general feel like they
Yeah.
might want to give up on things, because the reality of any industry or anything is like everything is kind of like a slow compound with any industry you do, I think, really. And like to be there and just watch the compounding happen is really the hardest part. Some people
Yeah.
want the results right away. And things don't happen like
Yeah.
the way you think they're going to happen. So you just got to go roll with the punches and go with what the days bring. And there's going to be days where you want to quit, you know what I mean? And there's
Yeah.
going to be days where you want to give up, and there's going to be days where you feel excited and to keep going and to pursue harder, and you know um but the longevity stands in with the withstanding of the heat.
Yeah.
um because there's going to be heat, and we're human, right? So if I were
Yeah.
to say, oh no, I've never been depressed, oh I never want to give up, like I'd be lying.
Yeah.
Like, because we're all
Yeah.
human. Like, everybody goes through those emotions. It's a part of the human spectrum, right? Like,
Yeah.
you have happiness, sadness, anger, depression. Like, everybody experiences all of the emotions that exist. So I don't think it's anything to hide from, or not, you know, just you know,
Yeah.
as long and that it boils down to, like what I said before about the love of the art, because that's really what centers you to stay in something. It's like, how much do you really love it? If you love
Yep.
something, you get to a point of delusion. It's like you're like in a point of delusion where you're like, you love something so much that even
Yeah.
though it might be,
Everybody thinks you're crazy because you love it
everybody thinks you're
so much.
crazy, or even though it might, the things around it might be killing your spirit, or things around it might be trying to test your faith and all that.
Yeah.
I think if you stay grounded in the love of the art, like, it really kind of, like, every single time it just overshadows all the bullshit.
Yeah.
There is
Fact.
bullshit. It just exists and we can't avoid it.
Yeah.
So I think that it just centers back to that, man. Just the love of whatever it is that you're doing. Like, you know what I mean? Whatever industry you choose,
Yeah.
the love for it is stronger than anything else.
Yeah. Pushes through. Now
It pushes through.
you're an artist and you're a producer, so you're on both sides of the coin. Without saying any names, but what's the hardest moment you had to deal with where you just came out the studio, you know it's a certified hit, you know all they got to do is push the button on it and you're going to get checks coming in and your life's going to be good, and they say, yo, we got to wait 6 months, we got to wait a year. Like, can you give us a little story without names, because I want to cause no, you know, situations, but just to artists that think this industry is what they want, some of those things are the hardest things you deal with. How do you deal with those moments where you got to wait for that hit to hit the radio so you can get paid?
I don't think I've ever left the studio thinking something was like a hit. Like, I honestly, like, I'm not necessarily, like, it's so funny. The songs I always thought were going to be a hit weren't the hits, and the songs that I didn't think were going to be a hit were the hit. Like, it's you can't tell. You don't know. Like, and I think that puts a lot of pressure as well when you're trying to be like, okay, this is it. Because if you go into a song, like, I almost kind of like to have all my songs like in like a level playing field of, like, they're all great. I love all the fucking songs I do, and whatever the society decides to make like the hit, that's their choice. But I feel like once you put yourself, and I've seen this happen to so many artists in history, it's kind of scary and weird. But, like, when someone has a hit, right, or they have multiple hits that they didn't necessarily think were going to be hits, now it kind of makes them, like, be like, okay, now I got to do that again. Now I have to match the energy of that hit. Versus when they were making that hit, they didn't know it was a hit. Like, they just felt good making it. It felt great. So then it makes you kind of, like, they kind of have to center in, like, trying to create that sound again. But when they made that sound, they weren't trying to create that sound again. They were just creating something that felt good.
And then, like you said, most of the time they didn't even like the sound the first time. So why would they go think to create it again? Because it was the fans or it was the label that grabbed it and said, we're going to put, but the artist was like, nah, that's not the, get this one. Let me use this one instead. Like, so I can relate to that.
Yeah. And it just puts them in a box, because then now you're here trying to recreate something that you weren't even trying to recreate from anything before. And now it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be as good, because that was the honest energy that was created first. And now you're trying to duplicate it. You're trying to copy it. So it's like, yeah, you'll get close. But I think the best way to stay in tune with just the frequency is to just not try to create a hit. Like, try to just create something fun and something great and something that feels good. Because, like, those when we did all the other songs in the past, like, that's what we did. We were just, I was just having fun. I didn't give a shit. Like, I did so many songs at that time that those were just more songs. Like, and it was just kind of like we were just having fun. And that's how I always go in the studio. I'm like, I just want to have fun. I don't want to have any expectation. I don't want, oh, this has to be a hit. This person said I had to do it like this. Like, because then once you start thinking like that, then all of a sudden it goes out the window and you get screwed. And then you might as well just, like, call the session, go home, do something else. Like, just don't even try, like, because now you're going to be in this, like, little box of creativity versus, like, every song, like, that I do even today on, like, I'm just like, I want it to make me feel good. If it makes me feel good, then it's probably going to be some people out there that it makes them feel good too. And that's all I strive for, is just to make music that makes me happy, that makes me feel good. And if it becomes a hit, cool. Like, oh, hell yeah, that's dope. And if it doesn't, that's cool too, because I'm just having fun. I'm not trying to make it hit. I'm just trying to make music that I love and that, you know, I could play for, you know, generations and generations on, and everybody just could play it at a party, play it at an event, have fun. Like, yeah.
Now, you've mentioned a few times you love being in the studio. You know, you got the studio behind you. Can you give us a story of a studio session that, you know what I mean, has changed your life? Like to the general public, we don't even know what took place, but to you, you learned something or you've seen something that you have, it really impacted your life and has made you who you are today.
I mean, honestly, I would say that like my sessions with Akon uh,
Okay.
have probably always been like the most prominent in my mind, just because like he's so creative and he does it
Yeah.
so fast, you know. And
Yeah.
he's probably who I've learned from the most is as far as authenticity, man. Like I've never seen someone just get on a mic and just do an entire song from beginning to end in like less than 20 minutes. Like
Yeah.
it's insane to see. And he just kind of just lives his truths through his music, and you can always hear it. And just to see how quickly he does
Yeah.
music and how fast he creates music always taught me like that's how it's supposed to be. Like you could tell he's just having fun. And I think I've learned that mainly from him. It's one of my main inspirations is just watching him create. And you could tell he's just having fun, and he's not
Right.
thinking about it at all. Like he's just doing it. He's just
Yeah.
creating it. I think for me, that was like the biggest, one of the biggest lessons of being in the studio is like, just don't overthink. You know, like if he was on the mic for longer than 20 minutes, he'd be like, what the hell? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Too
like he
long.
has a
Yep.
system. Like, he's like, it either happens or it doesn't. And then it's
Yeah.
done, and you're like, holy shit, this is a great song. And so I try to live like in that frequency where I'm just, if it's there, it's there. And if it's not, don't try to force it. Just leave, come back, do it again another time. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I've heard a lot of artists say that if it's hard to do the song, it's not going to work. You know what I mean? Like it should be almost effortlessly coming off of your mind because it should be that dope of a song that it's easy. Because if you got to sit there and think for 20, 30 minutes to write the punchline, how is somebody else going to remember the words so they can recite it back to you and scream it at your concert? So is that one thing you would say, you know, not to give too much of your secret sauce, but to somebody who's new and up and coming, is it have fun and keep having fun and keep things simple? Is that like what you would say your advice is?
Yeah, I think like sometimes the greatest songs don't feel great because they come so easily. And that's the scary part of art is like the greatest songs like happen so easily sometimes. Like for me, anytime like I did songs that were just really great, I was just like, nah, man, these ain't good. Just because it happened so fast. I was like,
Yeah.
nah, there's no way that something this dope could be made so quickly. So I think, you know, a lot of times you got to let other people choose, and just have fun, and don't be the one trying to be the deciding factor of what song is the one that's a hit, because I could guarantee you like 99% of the time, like the songs that you think are going to be the hits are not going to do shit. And then the
Yeah.
songs that you don't think might be the hits are going to be big. Like it's,
Yeah.
and you can't predict these things. You know what I mean? You could only live your truth and be the
Yeah.
best, you know, and do the best of your ability, and then let the world like
Yeah.
decide, you know?
I definitely think you show that in your music, convict music, your music. It's always having fun. Like every song I hear from you guys, unless you're talking to the ladies and you're having fun that way, you guys just have fun. All the videos are upbeat and
Yeah.
really crazy to be around. It's like being in a party with you and everybody's having a great time. Where's the first place you went outside of the United States to tour and perform? I know you've been around the world a couple of times, but do you remember the first place you got to go and perform, and what was that experience?
You know, crazily, I didn't do a lot of shows internationally, which is
Okay.
really wild. So this round, we're definitely going to be doing a lot of international runs. But when I did go out there, the few places I did go, one of the places that stood out was Sweden. I did a show
Yeah.
for like over 100,000 people. It was a radio show, and they had it in a park, and it was like a big radio event. And I think it was like almost like 150,000 people.
Yeah.
And it was like
Wow.
experience to see, and then seeing all those people sing your song back to you, and so surreal of a feeling, you know, especially like I said, when you're in the studio, you're not really necessarily thinking like this is the one, you know,
Yeah.
it's just another song, you know, especially if you
Yeah.
make a lot of songs. So I think that would be probably one that stood out the most for me.
Now you're an introvert, so you're standing on a stage, 150,000 people in Sweden. You're not even where your home is. How do you deal with that as an introvert? Like, did somebody give you some tips to use, or did you just do some mental things? Like, what are some of the things you do to get over your introvertedness when it's time to be the star?
I think it's interesting when there's more people. It's less. I'm less nervous,
Mm,
and it's like it's less intimate when there's more people.
yeah. Okay.
it's less intimate. It just becomes a sea of faces.
Yeah.
Versus like an intimate setting, a smaller setting, it's like you see everybody's face
Yeah.
intimately.
Yep.
Very different.
So like a studio session then. So if you're on stage around with a million people screaming at you, you're cool. Now let's change it. You're in the studio session and somebody walks in the room. Do you deal with the introvertedness there, or because you're the beast at your element, it doesn't really bother you that much?
I think as a human, I'm an introvert, and then when it comes to my music, I'm like, yo, bro,
Yeah.
I'm gonna rip this up. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I'm not introverted as a musician, I guess you could say. I'm introverted as a outside of music.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is all this shit going on around me? What's happening? Then
Yeah.
you put me in my music element. I'm like, okay, I'm home. This is where I'm
Yeah.
supposed
I
to
love
be.
it.
You know? So I think that would be the case for that scenario.
Yeah, I love it. I want to highlight that because so many people will say, "Well, I'm this, so I can't do this." And then you're proving on this live right now that you said you were an introvert, but you've been around the world as a star. So you had to get over it some way, and it didn't stop you from doing that. So I wanted to highlight that for you. What's one of the major sacrifices you or your team had to make to get to where you are today? I mean, you were 10 when you started, so you were young. But do you remember one of the sacrifices you had to do to become Colby Donis we know today?
You gotta dive all in. So you gotta sacrifice the person you are,
Yep.
essentially, in a way, just to become the person that is gonna be readily available for every and anything. Like, when you're doing, music and you're an artist, you gotta pull up when you gotta pull
Yeah.
up. You gotta be where you
Yep.
gotta be at times that you're requested to be at studio sessions. It's like you kind of
Yep.
live for the music, and then everything has to be kind of secondary. So I think for me that's kind of always been a thing where it's like
Yeah.
you always put the music first because that's kind of like the home base, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that feeds everything around it, you know what I mean? So it's I think, just being able to center in that is really what I would say.
I love it. Yeah. Now, back before the fans were screaming your name, you were young, so you knew you had a talent. But what did you do to psych yourself up? Like, you're 10 years old and you're around all these men, stars in their own right. How did you convince yourself that you could sing the way you sing? Like, how did you get over the people saying you're not old enough for this stuff? Like, how did you never stop and push through the way you did?
Oh, I didn't really, because I started so young. My dad was my manager, so he kind of like, I just kind of always known singing as my life. I started so young, and I was on Stuart Little, and I did a lot of things as a kid, and I don't think there was ever a moment where I was like trying to figure out if, like, oh, I could sing. It was just kind of like, I thought it was like, I remember there was a time where I thought everybody could sing. Like, it was just like,
Oh, wow.
I thought it was like we were all just talking a language, and that's how people communicated in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think it was ever like anything other than that. I just was always kind of connected, like, oh yeah, like I just sing. And I remember I would be like to my friends, like, hey, sing this, and I would sing something, and they wouldn't be able to do it back to me, and I'd be like, what, you can't sing? Like, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean you can't sing?
Like, everybody should be able to do this. Yeah.
Yeah, like, why can't you hit that note I just hit? Like, I did it easily. You can't do it either? Like, what? I don't get it. You know what I mean? And so to me, it was just kind of like, I thought singing of as like another language,
Yeah. Now, how has having a family changed you as a man that you are today, and as the artist we're hearing in these new songs you're working on, and the one we're about to talk about?
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, it's you kind of you center it. They center you. You get super centered, and you kind of see what life's really about. And then it makes everything even more clear as far as like just enjoying yourself and having fun. There's no more nothing more of a time capsule than a family. And you see everybody just growing older, and everybody getting like, you just see life happening around you, and you're like, okay, this is real life right here. This is real life. Everything else is just fun. The music is something I love to do, and I've been blessed to be able to do it, and do it with people I love, and do it with other creative people that are so talented. But back to home base. You always come back to the people you love, and and that's memories, and create memories with people you love, and and then rinse and repeat.
Yeah. So, like, so I was trying to tell my kids about who you were, and we're going to do this interview. You know, they're young. Like, do you have trouble sometimes convincing your younger family members to be like, "Yo, I was really in Stuart Little. That's really my voice." Or like when they're playing Just Dance, and like, you know, that's me right there. Like, do you ever have trouble convincing them that it was really you, and or they always been a fan of who you are, and they understand what greatness you've created?
Yeah, everybody in my inner circle, it's just like it's a no big, it's like nothing, you know what I mean? It's like,
Nothing.
oh,
Yeah,
that's your song. Because I have so many songs, right? So it's
yeah,
like,
you do.
it's like a song. It's like, oh, cool, that's another song. That's another one of his songs. Like it's just, it kind of all just blends in.
Yeah,
You know, it's super cool. They love them. You know, they play it all the time. My family plays it all the time, and it's cool. I'm glad you know I'm able to make something that's gonna outlive me. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
which is kind of trippy when you know you go deep into it. But I won't go like that deep. But um, it's just great to have art out in the world.
Yeah, I agree. Now we've mentioned you're back with your friend, you know, your comrade, as you would say, Akon. You guys
Mhm.
come back with Locked Up with You, amazing song. I see it's over 15 million views and counting. Like, how did you convince Akon to come back? You know, we haven't seen him doing too much music lately because of all his successes he's had. How did you and him get back in the studio? Give us the little story of who called who, and you know, how did we get this amazing song we have today?
Yeah, it was interesting. One a good friend of mine, he was he FaceTimed me, and he was actually with Akon, and
Oh
and
wow, okay,
and Akon was like, "Wait, Kobe?" Like, and I was like, "What, Akon?" Like, it was like we just kind of like happened to be
yeah,
uh, on a FaceTime while he was with one of my homies. Was just telling me it was, and it was like, "Yo, what's up, bro?" It was just kind of like two friends that haven't seen each other in a minute. And we were just,
yeah,
"Well, how are you doing?" And then we just kind of started reconnecting and just talking, and you know, and he was like, "Yo," and we're pretty much just like, "Yo, let's just do music.
let's do
Let's
it.
make songs together, man." Like there was a good chemistry and you know, and you know, later on in the future, I'll share more of the story. But there was, you know, a lot of elements outside of our control that wasn't
Yep.
that didn't allow us to fully continue doing what we were doing because, you know, I would say this: it's important to have a strong team, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so coming back to this era of life and this chapter, it was like, dude, like let's create some more music. Why not? You know, we've
Yeah.
had some great songs together already, so. And then
So is
yeah,
it like riding a bicycle? Like you said, you guys have already had major hits after major
yeah.
hits. So when you come back into the studio for the first time, is it like riding a bicycle? And what would you say the major difference is now versus when you guys were doing it back in the day?
Yeah, I think you know, he's always authentic, and so
Yeah.
am I. I think it's
Yeah.
never like I don't think of it as riding a bicycle. I think it was just kind of more of like we've always been doing music. Like you know what I mean? He's always been doing music. Like he's always dropping music, always working with talented people. I've always been doing music. You know, even like when I wasn't doing the artist stuff, I was you know creating and staying active in the music space. So it's always been. I think it's kind of like you know it's like speaking a language. You know, like
Yeah.
when you talk English, like you know how to you always know how to talk English. You could stop talking English for 10 years
And you still know it. Yeah.
and then you 10 years from now you could have a conversation with somebody in English still and be still fluent and still understand everything they're saying. And I think that's the same in music. And for me and him, like we never actually stopped making music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when we got back together, it was just kind of like, oh shit, we're even better now, you
Yeah.
know, than we were
Do,
then.
Do you guys get the goosebumps we do when that cell door slams? You know, as fans of convict music, of fans of you, every time you hear that slamming of the jail door, you guys have turned that into what used to be a scary sound to now we know hits is coming. Like, how do you guys feel about knowing that sound is synonymous with nothing but hits and greatness?
It is. It is. Yeah, I mean, I think it's the coolest tag ever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's such a hard tag, you know what I
yeah.
mean? I hate tags. I personally do, and that's one of the
Okay.
few that I love. Like I think like
Yeah,
most tags are really, really corny. And there's a very few that are freaking like cool as hell. And I'm like, yo, that's like one of the tags that I'm like, yo,
yeah.
I love
Like,
that tag. You know what I mean? It's cool as hell. It's not like it's not like, oh, this person tried to think of a tag and then created a tag to
yeah,
have a tag. Like, no, this tag is like it feels authentic, it feels real, it feels it's just cool, you know?
yeah,
Like you add it to the song and it's like it makes the song better. It just makes it
yeah.
sound cooler right off the gate, you
And
know?
right off the bat, yeah.
You know, you're like, oh, that's dope as hell. That'd go hard. But of
Now, what
course,
is
leave it to Akon to think of the dopest tag ever, right? Like,
Yeah, it's one of them, man. What does this record say about where you are now in your creative space, and what can we expect, you know, with the new project? Are we doing album mode? Are you mixtape mode? Like, what are the fans on the lookout for after the success of this first release?
Yeah, just more music, man. I think it's very different now. And I'm talking to the team about it, but I think it's very different now. Like as far as
Okay.
like, I think it's a singles market. It's a singles world, and
Yep.
I think
Very much.
that for me personally, right? Like I'll have a new song that I love that I hear, and I'm like, yo, this song is incredible. I absolutely love this song. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, moving on with
Yeah.
life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
'Cause you
And I
make
think that's
hits. Yeah.
say that again.
Because you make hits. You know what I mean, you're not stuck on one song because you know you're making another
Well,
one.
and I think not even just for myself. I think just for most of majority of the culture now, we have
Yeah.
so many songs being thrown at us every day, new songs every single day. It's so much information being absorbed
Yeah.
that like our brains are like taking in songs faster and ejecting them faster because there's so much that your brain could only like have so much capacity.
Right. It goes on overload
So
sometimes.
it's
Yeah.
like, and I, so in my mind state is like, want to talk to the team and stuff, but I just want to drop more songs more consistently. I want to drop at least a song a month. You know what I mean? Just kind of keep feeding the beast, as you could say,
Hmm.
because I think that's really what's important.
Yeah,
Because
I agree. I work with a lot of artists, and I tell them in this climate we're in now, the more consistently you're dropping music, the more you're getting new ears to listen to it, and then they
sure.
go catch that old stuff too. So now you get like a 2-for-1 special because you never know what song's going to take off for you. When we start talking about tour time for you, what's the first city you want to go to? Like what's been one of your diehard markets? And not to put anybody, say as many as you want, of course, but where are you looking to go to first on the tour?
Oh, everywhere.
Okay.
Every yeah. Like I signed an NDA, so NDA, sorry, NDA, NDA. So I can't say, but there's a tour that I'm doing next year that's going to be massive, and
Oh, see.
yeah, there's going to be a lot of dates, like I think 70 or 80. So we're going to be going all
Okay.
over the world. Big tour, excited for it.
Congrats. Congrats.
Be going everywhere, man. Every state, every city. It's
Hmm.
planned. So you know,
Are you
I'm
looking forward to it? So, I mean, like people who think tour life is fun, you know, I mean, I've had a privilege of being around it some, but for you, 70, 80 dates, is that something you're looking forward to? Do you love the road, or can you give us a, you know, a story of your previous travels?
yeah. When I think about it, I'm like, I'm probably gonna hate it because I hate being away from home. I
Yeah.
like, but then I know that when I'm in it, I'm probably gonna love it. I know when I'm in the moment, I'm gonna
Yeah.
love it. I'm gonna enjoy the performance aspect of it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
enjoy the songs. And I it's kind of like taking you out of one world, putting you in another kind of
Yeah.
scenario. So,
Yeah.
but I know when I'm in it, I'll probably enjoy it a lot. It's just when you're in your zone and you're in your own space, you're like, oh shit, I gotta do this long tour.
Okay.
The road kind of becomes your home. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Fact.
So if you have a nice home and you like your life at home, it's like taking you away. And
Yeah.
so that goes again to like what I said about the love of the art, right? It's like you love the art so much that it'll put you in uncomfortable situations that you might not
Yeah.
necessarily.
Sacrifice.
Yeah. And then you're like, okay, but you know what? I love the music. I love performing the music. I love sharing the
Yeah.
music. And so this is what I'm going to do,
Yeah.
and, but I know when I'm in it, I'm going to love it. Because every time I've done tours in the past, I love them.
You've had
They
a
were so
ball.
fun.
Okay. Yeah.
You
So
get to
as soon
see
as,
you get to see new ambiances. You get to be around new people, see new
yeah.
environments. So um, it just everything is different, and it constantly changes every night. New city, new stage, new individuals. So yeah,
Well,
honestly,
as soon as you're able to say anything, have Erica hit us up, or I'll follow you. Hit us up directly. We'll make sure to post the tour for you. We'll let the world know where you're going. We'll keep on
yeah,
track, man. Because want to definitely support you because you came on the tonight. When people hear your music today, or they go back and look at your catalog, what's something you want them to think about? Like when they think of Colby O'Donis, what do you want them to remember you for, or what do you want them to think?
he's dope.
Yeah, it's dope. Yeah.
I honestly, no, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I have any particular things I want people to think about me.
Yeah.
The actual thought of it gives me anxiety because when I start thinking
Mm,
about what I think people are thinking of me, that's when I freaking get like,
yeah.
I get massive anxiety. I like to just kind of keep a clear mind, and because like this
Okay.
is the thing, right? We live in a world where there's going to be people that think horrible things, and there's going to be people
Yeah.
that think great things. Like, you know, uh, in every comment section I ever have. Anything that I ever do, there's always people that love and there's always people that hate. It just exists. It's a part of the natural human psyche is love and hate, right? So I try not to think about what people are going to think about me or what I want them to think about me, because that just gives me anxiety.
Too much pressure.
I like to I just like to just be, and I like to exist, and who likes me, and who doesn't like me, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people I like and there's a lot of people I don't like. Everybody's the same. Like, you're not going to love everybody and you're not going to be loved by everybody, and that's just never going to happen in any circumstance in the world. And that's why a lot of celebrities really lose their shit, because they're really trying to make everyone love them. And it's like, and then, you know, there's some celebrities that do great knowing that not everybody's going to love them. And it's like, that's just what it is. And so I don't necessarily try to categorize what I want people to think of me, because like, I'll go in circles, I'll go crazy.
Now, thinking about 5 years from now, let's have a little fun. 5 years from now, what's it look like for you? I mean, you've already had a major career. You've got plaques. You're Stuart Little. Like, you've done everything most artists dream of. But 5 years from now, what are we saying you've done or accomplished to that point?
I say in 5 years, I just hope to be able to be creating music in a free, loving environment that with no external pressures.
Yeah.
No external pressures, and just being able to do what I love, and just, you know, and just be in that high frequency of just constantly creating, and just being around people I love and the people that love me, and then just keep doing that. Kind of like what I'm in right now. I'm in that great situation in my life. I'm around a lot of people that I love and a lot of people that love me, and
Awesome.
and I'm just making music with really talented people, and just and I keep my circle small, man. I don't you know, I've had a lot of friends that I've just kind of cut out of my life, and you have to do that. You have to protect your energy, and I think I'm in that frequency. And I just hope to just be able to stay in that frequency of just authenticity and pure love, and just protecting my spirit. And just, I hope I can still be there and doing that in my spirit, and just living a free, loving, external pressure-free life, you know?
You speak of protecting your spirit. How great did it feel for you to come back and hit 15 million? Like, it wasn't nothing to you. Like, I seen Akon did the drop for you on Instagram. Like, we're doing the video. You dropped the video. Now it's going crazy. Like, how's it feel to see the love and response that your fans are still showing you today?
I mean, it feels great, man. I mean, you know, there's still people out there that love what I do, and there's a lot of new people that are discovering me as well. You know, like, kind of. You know, I think every song I do and everything I do from the past to now, I kind of come at it as like I am a new artist. I don't like to like necessarily think of my past works, because that, again, that kind of puts you in a box of, oh, I got to recreate this, I got to do that again, I got to. When I was doing that, I wasn't trying to do that. I was just having fun.
Just having fun.
Like, personally, it's like, as long as I stay in tune with the frequency of just me and just having fun, I think, you know, I'll always be able to deliver, and I'll always be grateful for the people that show love and all the views I've gotten. And I think that's great. And I hope, you know, I could keep delivering music that impacts people's lives. And, you know, if I get 15 million on this one, and 5,000 on the next one, and 10 million on the next one, and like the variations don't bother me, because I'm happy with just being brave enough to share, because it takes a lot. Takes a lot of braveness to share too, because you're kind of putting yourself out into the world to be judged by any human, and it's free game. You know what I mean? So I think, you know, just being proud of myself to just be brave enough to share again and just have fun.
Do you like it better now? I mean, because you were from the old school, as we say. You've experienced having to do records and go meet people and all these different things you had to do back in the day to break a record. Now you come on Instagram Live and do interviews. How are you enjoying this newfound technology that's available to you as an artist, and are you and your team maximizing it?
Yeah, no, it's I mean, I think that's kind of how the world was always intended to be, and we just happen to be the generation that got to see it come to fruition.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
We benefited.
We got to see this technology be existed. That's going to exist forever. And we are the first generation to really tap into it, you know, because when you see kids, they're born into this world now. This is normal to them. This is what it is. At one time, like, you know, none of this existed. And now we're the generation that gets to experience it from zero to wherever it's going. And it's cool. I mean, if you know how to use it properly, you can really maximize your reach. And I think that's what it's about, you know, being able to people really quickly from all across the globe and around the world. And
Yeah. I know we're coming to the end, so I'll keep it short with you. If you could collab with anyone living or dead, who would they be and what would you make?
Um, Quincy Jones
Ooh, okay.
for sure.
Okay.
I wish I could have worked with Quincy. What an incredible talent. And then as an artist, probably Michael.
Okay. Two
Yeah.
greats. Okay.
Um, Stevie Wonder. I hope to maybe work with him one day. Um, and yeah, I mean that's the list is pretty short.
Have you ever thought about going and sampling some of the classics? You know, a lot of people in this younger generation, unfortunately, they may not have had a chance to hear them. Have you thought about taking your talents and reintroducing the world to them so they can have their legacy live on through your voice?
Of course, yeah. No, I mean I think artists always
Yeah.
aspire like that, you know. So if the moment ever comes and it's ever something that feels right, I wouldn't say no.
Now, how important is the team to you? We've mentioned them a few times, and who are the team members that are making your day-to-day operation go as smoothly as it does?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Akon is right now the team that I've been working with directly with his squad. You know, he's got a really powerful team behind him, and he's kind of funneling that into me. And so just been working with him right now, and yeah, then Juliet Harris, my publicist,
Yeah.
she's amazing. And yeah, so that's that's the team. It's building right now. We're still building it, so
Yeah.
still elements being figured out as we go. But as far as
Yeah.
everything, I got a really, really great social media team that I've been working with. They're amazing. Shout out to Max. He's dope.
Sure.
And a lot of cool people, man. And the team's kind of just, super strong and it's still building. So,
Yeah.
to be continued.
Yeah. Now, what do you want to say to your fans and supporters who's been rocking with you all these years and came back with the new song that you just dropped?
I'm here to stay. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep dropping music now. So I plan on, I think next year I'm gonna be dropping a song a month, most
I love
likely.
it. Yeah.
Dropping a lot more music because personally, with me, even when I'm listening to my own songs, I'm like, I want to hear more. Like, I listen to like maybe one song and I'm like, cool, like, but I want to
Yeah.
hear like more from myself, and that's me from my own stuff. So I'm like, I imagine people that do like my music or do like what I do, they probably want to hear more than just like one song a
Right.
year, So just planning to just kind of like drop a ton of music so that they have a lot of songs for me to just enjoy and
Okay.
pick what they love and whatever songs they hate, cool, it's all good. Do you know what I mean? This is shoot, Michael Jackson has hundreds of songs and like most people can't name more than 10 that I know.
Right.
Like
Back.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they go deep in their memories, maybe they can name 20 or 25, but most people just know like his 10 biggest ones. Those are the ones that really are. But then if you go on his whole catalog, I mean, the guy's made thousands of songs. You know what I mean? So I think that's the perspective to always keep is like just do as many fucking songs as possible, and
Right. Yeah.
and whatever sticks will stick, and whatever doesn't won't. So it's just it's out of our control. Once it's created and you put it out into the world, it's up to the world.
Yeah. Now, where can your fans go to get it? I know Spotify and all the normal routes, but what is your handle? Do you have a website? And then where can people be able to keep informed? Like, do you have a newsletter or anything on your team that are going to your fans? So when tours happen and stuff, how can they stay tuned into what you're doing?
Yeah, right now just my Instagram and TikTok.
Okay.
Out right now, and then we're gonna keep building some more platforms. But for now, like those are the main ways to reach out and just keep in tune with what I'm doing. And
Dope.
and then sometimes we post to Akon's page as well, and just different outlets. But
Yeah.
mainly those are the two that I'm focused on.
And then anything else you wanted to make sure we mentioned while we were talking tonight that I might have missed?
Nah, I think you covered it all, man. It was a great interview. I enjoyed talking to you.
Dope. Now, do you like doing this type of stuff? Because I got a lot of other Zoom calls I do with DJs. We got other Instagram lives. So if there's something you're open to, I'll reach out to Erica and help plug you into some stuff. And then I'm going to put your song on DigiWax. You know what I mean? 50,000 DJs, a lot of record breakers. I love the song, man. You guys killed it like you always do. And like I said, you deserve to have your music heard as much as we can. So I'll put the team behind it to help push the button a little bit for you. So I appreciate your time tonight, man.
Hey, man, thanks for having me and sharing your platform. I really appreciate it.
No doubt. Salute.